Hello! In this lesson we're talking about comparing and ordering integers. Okay, for comparing and ordering integers, this is just saying which numbers are larger. Right? We need to be able to recognize this. And working with integers, it's talking about whole numbers. Right? We're not dealing with partial numbers like fractions or decimals or mixed numbers. Okay? We're working with whole numbers and their negative opposites. Those are called integers. Right? So we need to look at these values and be able to identify which one is larger. Okay? We have some symbols that you need to remember, right? We have greater than, we have less than, we have equal to, right? We're going to use those comparison symbols in these problems. Okay? So for number 1, we're going to use the comparison symbols, and 2 is blank, right, to 5. Well, 2, it's less than, right? So 2 is less than 5. Right, if we're talking about money, I would much rather have $5 than $2. Okay. Over here, negative 38 is blank to negative 40. Well, when we're working with negative numbers, we need to remember that actually the smaller number value, right, 38 is smaller than 40. When we're talking about negative, that means it's actually a higher number. Okay. So negative 38 is greater than negative 40. Okay? And then for number 3, we have negative 1 is blank to 0. 0 is greater than. So, but since it's written as negative 1, we need negative 1 is less than 0, right? 0 is the larger number. Okay? In our next section, we have order from least to greatest. One of the biggest issues for this section, or sections like this, is actually simply the students reading the instructions. So make sure you recognize, does it ask for least to greatest and greatest to least? Okay? So make sure you understand that. This one asks for least to greatest. One thing I wanted to demonstrate is we had talked about number lines a couple lessons ago, and so I wanted to show you could use number lines to solve these problems. And so how we could do it? Well, write my values, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5. Okay, so I've written my values over here. And then you could simply say, well, I can graph these, right? I have negative 2's right here. I have positive 4. I have 0. I have 1. I have negative 3, and then from there I just will say, alright, so my first one is, my least is negative 3, negative 2, 0, 1, and 4. Okay? So I could use a number line in that way. I could write out a number line, and then I could plot my points and just go, oh, left to right, right? This is the least, right? Least value, and going all the way up to my greatest value. Okay? Otherwise, as you start to get more familiar, you're probably going to be able to just simply look at it and say, like in number 5, let's say, okay, well, looking through here, I see, well, negative 4. I see negative 4 is my lowest number. And I oftentimes like to do some kind of marking. You might mark through it to make sure I've accounted for every number. Well, the next lowest is negative 1. I see right here. Okay. I see 0. I see positive 1. I see positive 2. And I see positive 7. Right? And like I said, as you get more familiar with these, it's going to be fairly easy for you to look at problems like this and put them in order. Okay? Something that can be helpful for you is write out that number line, make it large enough to cover all of your data, and then go from there.